Have you ever wondered why perfectly smart people sometimes make decisions that end up creating a total mess for everybody else? We're going to dive straight into a really fascinating behavioral puzzle. Our main focus today is to give you the exact concepts and vocabulary you need to confidently tackle the discussion questions in your upcoming workshop. Think about this for a second. You're at a concert having a great time, and someone in front of you stands up to get a better view. Makes sense, right? It's a completely rational, smart choice for them. But then the person right behind them has to stand up. And before you know it, the whole stadium is standing. Everyone's legs are killing them, and literally nobody has a better view than when they were just sitting down. This is exactly what we're looking at today. Situations where what makes perfect sense for one person becomes totally wasteful or even harmful when the whole crowd joins in. So, going into your workshop, your main goal is to decode this hidden logic. You're going to be looking at real-world scenarios where individual incentives and the welfare of the whole group are actually moving in completely opposite directions. Let's look at our first case. Case number 1. Why do doctors tend to overprescribe antibiotics? This seems unreasonable because, well, doctors are highly educated experts. They know the long-term risks. They absolutely know that unnecessary antibiotics increase drug resistance and create massive public health crises. So if that risk is so crystal clear, why don't they just stop doing it?
Well, the hidden logic here isn't medical at all, it's psychological. Think about the short-term pressure. Picture a doctor sitting in a room with a worried patient who really expects a pill to make them feel better. There's uncertainty, there's pressure to provide immediate relief. In that quick 10-minute window, writing the prescription feels like the smartest, easiest thing to do to solve the problem right in front of them. But that long-term group cost? It's a public health crisis. The individual incentive to keep the patient happy today is fighting directly against the group's need to keep antibiotics effective for tomorrow.
All right, let's look at another example. Case 2. Why on earth do women endure the discomfort of high heels? Let's use our phrase again. This seems unreasonable because high heels are, quite frankly, genuinely uncomfortable. Walking is way harder, and they can cause permanent physical harm to your feet and back. I mean, if a piece of clothing acts like a medieval torture device, any rational observer would say, hey, just stop wearing them. But people don't stop. Why is that? Let's unpack the hidden logic. It comes down to a really stark trade-off. The individual benefit is all about a social, visual, or competitive advantage. In certain environments, wearing heels might make someone feel they look more formal, or taller, or just more competitive. They're willingly paying a personal cost, physical pain, just to get that edge. But what about the group cost? If everyone wears them to compete, the whole baseline shifts. Now everyone is in pain, and nobody actually has an advantage anymore. It turns into this fashion arms race that just leaves the entire group worse off.
Okay, let's pivot over to the business world for cases 3 and 4. Why do supermarkets and gyms stay open 24 hours a day? And why do stores push Christmas decorations onto the shelves in September? Let's be real, this seems totally unreasonable. Paying to keep a massive gym brightly lit at 3 a.m. for maybe one guy on a treadmill, that costs a fortune. And putting up holiday displays when people are still walking around in shorts? It just feels like a massive waste. So what's the hidden value driving this crazy competition? The truth is, these businesses aren't just selling gym space or holiday sweaters. They are completely trapped in a competitive system. And the biggest driver here is the fear of risk. For them, not acting actually feels way riskier than doing these excessive things. If Gym A closes at 10 p.m. and Gym B is open 24 hours, a customer might pick Gym B just for the psychological comfort of knowing they could go at 2 a.m. even if they never actually do. It's all about competitive positioning. If one store puts out Christmas trees early to grab those early shoppers, every other store feels terrified of being left behind. So they all do it, dragging the whole industry into this really inefficient, wasteful cycle.
Now, here is a situation I am sure we have all experienced. Case 5. Why does splitting the check cause people to spend more at restaurants? Once again, this seems unreasonable because splitting a bill evenly should literally just be about math. It's just to make paying easier at the end of the night. It shouldn't magically change what food you actually want to eat, right?
Well, human psychology loves to prove us wrong. The hidden logic here is super fascinating. There's a simple rule. When you don't bear the full cost of your choice, your small decisions shift in a very predictable, wasteful direction. Think about it. If you're paying for your own meal, you're probably going to skip that $15 slice of cake. But if you're splitting the bill evenly with 10 friends, that cake only costs you $1.50. The group is absorbing the cost, so you order it. But here is the trap. Everyone else at the table is doing the exact same math in their heads. Suddenly, everyone orders the expensive stuff, the total bill skyrockets, and we all end up paying way more than we wanted to. Convenience literally changed our incentives.
All right, let's look at one final scenario. Case 6. Why might people actually gain more than they lose from wearing uniforms? At first glance, this seems completely unreasonable, right? Uniforms restrict our personal freedom. They totally block our natural human desire to express ourselves. Letting everyone choose their own clothes sounds so much more liberating and fair.
But absolute freedom actually has a hidden reality. While the visible benefit is total self-expression, the hidden cost is a massive emotional burden. Without a uniforms, a school or an office can very quickly turn into another fashion arms race. People start spending absurd amounts of money and mental energy just trying to look good, fit in, or outdo the person next to them. The restriction of a uniform actually shuts down that entire exhausting competition. It acts like a shield, giving people a much-needed break from all that daily pressure and comparison.
It's time to hand over your practical, analytical tools for the workshop.
So here are the 5 exact analytical steps you need. Step 1. What seems unreasonable about this situation? Step 2. Why does it keep happening anyway? Step 3. Who's actually benefiting in the short term? Step 4. Who's paying the price in the long term? And finally, Step 5. What is the hidden logic keeping this broken system alive?
So right before you head into your workshop, I want to leave you with this question to chew on. What is an arms race that you are participating in right now? And what would happen if you were the first one to just stop?
Beyond norm, where English isn't just a subject, it's a way to think, grow, and connect.